What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Real Hunting, where we hunt for the good reels, so you don't have to. It's your boy Brad, the Brett Man's right over there. Today, we're going to be doing a really cool ranking. We're going to be ranking the Scream killer reveals. Not our favorite killers, per se, but the reveals themselves that we've seen from each of the 5 movies. Now, that being said, ladies and gents, Brettman, you know what that means. We're going to be talking spoilers for Scream 5, Scream 2022. In this review, we're going to be talking about the killer reveal from that movie. So if you have not seen Scream 5, don't watch this video yet. Unless you just don't give a shit, then
not just yet. Yeah, like don't watch it just yet. But we figure at this point most people have seen Scream 5, but just in case, you never know, But yeah, I have to get closer because I am ready to talk about this top particular ranking with you today. And guys, let us know in the comment section too. We want to know your ranking of the killer reveals. As Brad says, not who your favorite killer is, but who your favorite reveal is. We love to hear different lists, so I'm ready to go.
Yes, and we did actually do a killer ranking reveal last year with Destiny, Brett, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that was we did that, and that was a fun video. So that's where we ranked all the killers prior to Scream 5. But now we're doing the reveals, baby. So yeah, man, I'm ready. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready, dude. Brad, ready to get to number 5.
Let's do it, man.
All right, let's do it. Yeah, I can go. Okay. My number 5 is actually going to be number 5, Scream 5. It's not a bad reveal, but just out of the other ones, this is easily the weakest reveal, just because Amber's kill is kind of like just really random, where like they were all arguing and Amber goes, "Yeah, I'm the killer," pulls out a gun and shoots Liv. Like it's just kind of random. It quickly happened. And then with Richie's one, just doing a random stabbing, like, oh, we've seen that before, aka Charlie from Scream 4. But yeah, just that's my quick thoughts on that. My number 5 is Scream 5, definitely the weakest for me.
I agree, man. That's the same for me as well. I actually think this whole killer reveal at the end of Scream 5 is really what brings this movie down for me, like a whole star almost. Well, I mean, it wasn't ever going to be 5, but I mean, like, it just the reveal, I didn't like it. The Richie thing, Richie being the killer, I freaking saw that like I don't know, maybe 10 minutes into the movie. Like I knew that I'm like, there's no way this is gonna be the killer. They've made it so obvious, and they ended up doing it that way. Anyway, so there was no surprise factor there for Richie. Totally made sense. I didn't hate his character. His character I liked, actually, for the most part. So I mean, I kind of liked his charisma and everything. So that was a cool bet, I guess. But and then, like you said, with Amber, like she was good. She was actually, like, during the reveal in the third act and everything, she was actually pretty solid. But again, like, it just I just didn't buy it. I didn't buy that she was going out there and tearing shit up and killing Dewey. Like, this is the one that killed Dewey. Like, whenever you put everything together in your head, I'm like, I just don't buy that, man. I don't like it at all. I don't like the fact that she killed Dewey, man.
Yeah, I know. Like, I've already heard every single complaint there is about Amber killing Dewey, and yeah, I kind of agree with it. But at the end of the day, Dewey had to be the one to die, so at least they accomplished that goal. But it is what it is, folks. So those are our number 5. I'm ready to go to my number 4, which my number 4 is Scream 3 with the Roman reveal. I feel like this could have gone higher if they would have continued along with the story about Angelina being the second killer, as she was rumored to be. Even though if you watch Scream 3, you can just tell the signs are there with her being the second killer. It's just they had to do a quick rewrite on it. So they totally like disregarded that particular 2 killer angle and just did with Roman. But it's still a good reveal, though. Like, I didn't see it coming, especially when you found Roman in that casket. And we thought he was dead, so I kind of immediately ruled him out, even though he wasn't quite as bloody. So I probably should have known better. But just with his reveal and the way he does his speech and all that about coming home to mother and all that. So my number 4 is Scream 3 with the reveal.
Absolutely, man. For number 4 for me is Scream 4. We're going in reverse order here. I guess the right order. Scream 4, man. I liked it. I thought Jill. This is a huge step up from 5, by the way. So this is a big difference. I like Jill being the killer there. I thought that was a good. I didn't see that coming. I genuinely did not see that one coming. That was a surprise. Charlie, I could have You know, I kind of saw that a little bit, but it was kind of cool the way he was revealed because he was out on the chair, you know, tied up and shit, and then Kirby comes out to help his ass, and then she gets it for a minute or two. She gets it, and then,
Mhm.
but yeah, I mean, I like that part of it. Jill's, I mean, again, I did the surprise was nice, but I just it kind of felt a little cheesy after that for a few minutes when she's talking about why she's doing everything and when they like they're stabbing each other or she stabs him, I guess, and all that stuff. I don't know. It just kind of felt a little corny to me during that part. The idea I liked. I just thought the execution could have been a little bit better. And as a killer, she's one of my favorites. But the reveal I just thought was a little bit, yeah, it was just a little bit off. And I really neither one of them seemed like strong. Like Charlie, smaller dude. Jill's kind of a smaller lady as well. It just kind of when you think about it throughout the movie, it's like, man, did these guys really chop up everybody? You know, that was my
Mhm.
question.
Okay, I can actually see that. So I do not blame you for putting Scream 4 as your number 4. But let's continue along that little nice segue right there. So my number 3 is Scream 4. And it's just really like Charlie wasn't. Oh, it was a good reveal, even though it kind of pissed me off though, because just during that time in 2011, I thought Kirby was dead for 11 years. I had to live with the fact that Kirby is dead, even though I technically the last 2 years I was starting on the train of Kirby is still alive, which guess what? She is. But anyways, just during that 2011 time, that kind of took me off guard a little bit, even though I kind of was like, oh, Charlie, I can see him being a killer. But Jill, on the other hand, did not see that coming just because I thought they were going to do like the whole passing of the torch, kind of like what Scream 5 did with Sam. I thought Jill was going to be grabbing that torch, but no, she put the torch out and stabbed Sydney, man. Like, it's like, screw that. I want to be famous solo, screw college, screw friends. I just want to be famous, man, and make that million dollar bill, y'all. But just that reveal was just really shocking, and I just did not see that coming. So that is why I put Scream 4 as my number 3.
I like it. Just a couple things. Like I didn't mention this when I was talking about the 5 and 4 for me, but another thing I did not like about either one of those was the motives. Man, I thought they were like for Scream 5. It's like after I left the theater, I was trying to think. I couldn't even remember what the motive was. It was so forgettable. It was like some, oh yeah, the franchise is ruined. Like I just didn't like that. Same thing in 4. I thought the motive was like, oh, she gets all the attention. Let's kill everybody. Like it just, I don't know. It just was silly to me. But anyway, moving on. Number 3 for me is going to be Scream 2, and that's going to be our boy Mickey and Billy Loomis's mother, Mrs. Loomis. I thought this was done really well. I like the way they kind of introduced Mrs. Loomis into the story throughout the movie. But just very like here and there, very minuscule. She's almost so under the radar, you forget about her, you don't think about her, and you obviously don't know it's Mrs. Loomis, which was cool. She's like this Nancy Drew wannabe kind of reporter gal.
I think Deborah Salt was her name.
Yes, yeah, the salt. Yeah, that's right. That's good, and all that stuff was cool. Her reveal whenever Courtney Cox she opens like Mickey's like, oh, the other killer's coming through over here, and they open the door, and Courtney walks through, and you're like, holy shit! And then it's like, no, it's actually her, and then she explains that it's Billy's mother, and she's out for revenge. And what I really like about this one is the motive. Right? It's awesome. I think it's that makes sense. You can buy it. You can see where she's going. And then Mickey, I think, is really underrated. He obviously he's going to be one of the killers throughout the movie. He's creepy as hell, but when he's going through um his reasonings and his motives, he seems like he's legitimately insane, um and I like that. I like that. He's good, and he has a nice little speech there. He kills the boyfriend up on the rack there. So I liked all that quite a bit. He was fun. Timothy Oliphant was great.
Oh, poor Derek. This is a good boyfriend. You can actually take home the mother if you have a mother. Fuck
Right.
you.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Like all that was great. That was excellent.
Yeah, and let's continue talking about it because actually my number 2 is Scream 2. Just because again, Mickey, man, like I think he's one of the most underrated Ghostface killers out there, which I thought he had a pretty nice reveal, even though I kind of saw that coming just because with him not being on screen quite as long, like they kind of took him out pretty much. Second act of the whole entire movie, you kind of wonder where the hell did he go? Because the last we saw of him, he was clapping in the cafeteria not having any idea what's going on.
I think
But
I love you. Isn't that what life is made of?
exactly, man. And there is no love in Mickey's life except for, being famous because everybody loves a good trial. But so that was Mickey's reveal. But what really stole the whole show was Billy's mother. That was the big reveal, and I did not see that coming. But I thought it was absolutely brilliant to do that particular reveal, especially with the reasoning behind it too. I know this ain't a reasoning video; it's more reveal, but her reasoning is really damn strong. Just because, again, there is nothing more dangerous than the love that a mother has for their children, and freaking Mrs. Loomis really showcased this here with the reveal and the reasoning wise. So my number 2 is Scream 2.
As did Mrs. Voorhees. Yeah. That was cool. Like, yeah, when you think about Timothy Oliphant's motive, I guess, you're like, okay, whatever. It's a little weird. But he plays the character so crazily that you buy it. You buy that's his actual motive. So I think that's what's important here. Whereas in 4 and 5, they have these weak motives, but they're not the characters don't seem that crazy for you to buy that this is actually the reason why they're murdering people, whereas in 2 you do. So yeah, I think that's a very strong reveal there. For me, number 2, this one gets a lot of hate, man, but for me it's Roman, right? I think this
Okay.
is this one first off, I love the fact that this is the only movie still somehow where there's only one killer, and I think that really adds a lot of umph to him being the killer. Like you don't have the mastermind and the sidekick kind of storyline. It's all him. The buck stops with him, and I like that part of the story. And the reveal, I thought this is where the movie actually turns pretty good for me, is the end, the third act, and it starts with this reveal for me. I like how personal it is, the motives there, and what I really like about him when he's revealing everything, talking about. Now I know a lot of people, and myself included. I mean, it's a little bit of a far fetch. You get this. I'm your freaking half brother, from another lifetime kind of storyline that they threw in there. But I like the way that it gives so much to the motive. I like the way that Roman is like, he's not really insane. He's got his shit together. He's actually got a plan. He actually planned the first movie. And I like that. And when they start, obviously that leads to them duking it out, and everything just feels bigger there. I think obviously that's what they're going for, capping off the trilogy, but it feels like a personal, like it's not 2-on-1 anymore. It's mano y mano here in the last movie of the trilogy. And for that, I really like it, man. He seemed like he had his shit together and he didn't need any help.
No, definitely didn't need any help at all. Even though, again, you can tell for a lot of the movie that he did had a second killer with him with Angelina. But again,
Yeah, but he didn't though.
since they scrapped it, all
Yeah.
the credit does go to Roman. So I don't blame you for that. He did have a good motive too.
Felt so the way the whole scene was shot too, where you got the footage rolling up here of Mrs. Prescott and just him going on and on and on. It was just cool, man. Epic.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely epic for sure. But do you know what's even the most epic for both of our number ones?
Oh, I think I have an idea.
It's the original Scream from 1996 with Billy and Stu. With my first thoughts on it, I knew immediately Billy had to be the killer. So that was obvious. But even though when he got stabbed, I'm like, okay, well, he's a goner, so he can't be the killer anymore. But then when he survived, I'm like, oh, whoa, nope, he is back to being a killer again. I'm just waiting for the moment, and that's when he turns around going, we all go a little mad sometimes. And then he shoots Randy, and then just delivers that line of corn syrup, the same stuff they use for pig's blood and Carrie. Like, I was just all that just being all menacing, and I thought that was great. I'm like, holy hell, this is a great reveal. Then Sydney turns around, there's Stu there going, oh, well, damn, Stu looks freaking deader than dead. But then he pulls out that thing going, surprise, Sydney. That is where I lost my shit. Like, that was the moment for me in horror that made me fall in love with the horror genre and made Scream my favorite horror movie of all time. It was that moment where they revealed that they were two killers, because I have never seen that done before. And the way that Scream revealed those two killers, Billy and Stu, was just absolutely perfection.
Yeah, man, I agree. Obviously, it's my number one as well. I think for all the reasons you just said, the two killers now it's been done to death. It's like you expect that now, and I wish they would do something a little bit different at some point. But now, back in 1997 or eight or what is seven,
96.
96. Wow, even farther. Okay, cool. Back in 1996, that wasn't really ever done before. You never saw that. You're on the height of freaking, Michael Myers and Jason and Freddy and all that stuff happening. And when this came out, and you have this more grounded, approach to serial killing, and whatnot, and they reveal the two killers. Like the whole movie, you're like, okay, who's the killer? Who's the killer? Oh, it can't be him because he's here right now. This guy just got stabbed. Like you never even think for a second that there's going to be two different killers, and that it's going to be two of the people in the same friend group. You would never even that would never cross your mind at that point because it just wasn't done back then. So when that reveal actually happened, it was huge. And yeah, I mean, obviously we saw our boy Billy get freaking hacked up. It wasn't going to be him. And Stu, you could maybe look at and think maybe it's possible, but I thought both of those really took me by surprise. And yeah, man, it was great.
Hell yeah. Like I'm telling you, like no matter how many Scream movies they make for the future, like going after Scream 5, because like with the success that Scream 5 had, that they're gonna make more. However, though, it's always going to be Billy and Stu.
Yeah.
Like killers, anything Ghostface, it's always going to be them. Like I would be really surprised and intrigued if I see anything different than that. Which again, we encourage different on this channel too. But just with us, it's obviously Billy and Stu.
Yeah, for sure, man. Always.
Absolutely. And once again, what did you think about our ranking for the Scream Ghostface Killer Reveals? Do you agree with our rankings, or do you have a different ranking? Drop it in that comment section down below, and let's get that discussion rolling.
And if you want to help us find the good reels, you can do so by finding us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Slatterboxd, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Those links are for you to find down below.
You freaking sneaky bastard. And of course, if you want to support us, be sure to like this video, share, and subscribe. And of course, ring that bell. Ding, ding, ding. So you all know when the next ranking video is up and ready.
Yes, but don't let the phone ring. Don't let that bell ring. You don't want to do that. Call Bell South. Cancel your landline. Do that real quick.